And action. Okay, so I'm already seeing people overreacting, already freaking out. They don't understand what it is that just was signed into law. If the opposite happens, then the opposite happens. But it goes like this. Before I explain the Congress what was signed into law, some people say there's prophecy where you can prophesy that something will happen, but it won't happen. Something else will happen. Okay, so there's a thing called choices and understanding free will. If you're following a map, because God has planned out our whole life, right? So you're following a map. Say you're going on that bridge right there, and you can either choose to go on this bridge, or you can choose to go down that path. You have two choices here, and you can either choose to go the right way, which gets to the lake, or you can go the wrong way, which is still the right way. You see it the right way, and it goes all the way around the bridge to the lake. You can go the long way or the short way. So you have these choices. And the way that prophecy usually works, or at least the understanding that I've been given, is that you can either choose to go down one path to get to your goal or another path to get to your goal. The path that was laid out to me was that destruction could very well happen in America. Okay? If people choose to repent and turn from the wicked ways, then everybody, it could go one way or it could go another way. It depends on who's at war with you. Um, it's very hard to explain, but you have we'll give it a choice. You have a line, and you come to a fork in the road, okay? And you can either choose to go this way or you can choose to go that way. This way goes down a bunch of hmm, busted busted trees and so on. Not that much safety in line. There's some bears, there's wolves, there's lions, there's all kinds of things that shouldn't be in this forest, but they're there. And on the other side, you have a clean, safe-looking forest, and you have no idea what really lies beyond both sections. But you have a little bit more of a clear vision where there's bears and all of that, so you can get ready to go fight them. But you have no idea if those bears and lions and stuff are tame or if they're going to kill you. You don't know. And over here, you see this nice, big, beautiful forest over here, but you can't see past all the trees. You don't know if it's full of giants and monsters and devils and so on and so forth. You have no idea. But you have your choices. Can I go this way? Or can I go that way? And depending on the choices that you're going to make, our Creator, God in heaven, can tell you, okay, He's already decided, or she's already decided, to go down this way and go down this path. It looks beautiful and it looks pretty, but from what I can see beyond the forest line that they can see, just over the other side, there's a whole row of soldiers waiting there with clubs, ready to kill anybody who walks through. And on this side, you gotta fight lions and bears, but they're easier to tame. And that's just what this person can see. So both paths look like trouble, but this one's worse. You gotta pray about it and ask God to explain it to you, to really have some understanding. You gotta have that relationship. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult, you know? The ways of man equals death, but the way of God equals life. Um, Let me get to Psalm 118:8 says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." 9 says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. And all nations compass me about, but in the name of the Lord I will destroy them." Um, well, continuing beyond that, basically saying that, let's see, thou hast trusted sore at me that I might fall, but the Lord helped me. So there. Psalm 118:8 says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than put confidence in man." And 13 says, thou hast thrust sore at me that I might fall, but the Lord helped me. Continuing, the Lord is my strength and song, and is become my salvation. But I'm saying, form a relationship with Yeshua and ask him what you should do instead of jumping the gun and making a bad decision, because your decision by yourself is going to equal death. We're born into sin. By your own understanding, it's not going to make any sense, but you need to trust in the Lord. That's how I've always lived my life. I can't say that. For the longest time, that's how I lived my life. When I have trusted in my own understanding, it's never really gone the way that I wanted it to go. Even now in my life, I've made some decisions in my life that don't go the way that I wanted them to go. Mostly helping other people make decisions and watching the plans blow up in their face. And in other situations, planned out a whole war with the Lord. Not me at war with the Lord, but by his side, to help a country. And that country is doing fine. I don't want to name all that stuff. That's neither here nor there. That is over there. It's not here. So now we're going to go to HR 8404, Respect for Marriage Act. It was signed into law as far as I understand. Everybody's freaking out about it. It's 12/13/2022. It became public law, signed in by Joseph Biden. A lot of people were there. And here's the summary. This is on congress.gov, by the way, just in case anyone doesn't understand what it says. And there's going to be a lot of trolls, coming to churches and trying to test your knowledge and so on. So I hope that this spreads all around and helps as many people understand as possible. It was public law number 117, or specifically 117-228, as of 12/13/2022. It's called the Respect for Marriage Act. This act provides statutory authority for same-sex and interracial marriages. Specifically, the act replaces provisions that define for purposes of federal law. By the way, I'm reading it just so that you can hear it spoken and you can read along with me and know what it says. I hope you understand it. If you don't, I'm going to try to help you. So, for purposes of federal law, marriage as between a man and a woman and a spouse as a person of the opposite sex, with provisions that recognize any marriage between two individuals that is valid under state law. The Supreme Court held the current provisions were unconstitutional in the United States versus Windsor in 2013. The act also replaces provisions that do not require states to recognize same-sex marriages from other states, with provisions that prohibit the denial of full faith and credit or any right or claim relating to out-of-state marriages on the basis of sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin. The Supreme Court held that state laws barring same sex marriages were unconstitutional in Obergefell versus Hodge in 2015. The court held that state laws barring interracial marriages were unconstitutional in Loving versus Virginia in 1967. The act allows the Department of Justice to bring a civil action and establishes a private right of action for violations. The act does not 1. Affect religious liberties or conscience protections that are available under the Constitution or federal law. 2. Require religious organizations to provide goods or services to formally recognize or celebrate a marriage. You're not required. 3. Affect any benefits or rights that do not arise from a marriage. Or 4. Recognize under federal law any marriage between more than two individuals. I hope that helps. I hope it makes sense. It's pretty clear. If you don't understand it again, you can go to congress.gov. Congress.gov, and it'll explain it to you. And this is what civil marriage is. It's a marriage performed, recorded, or recognized by a government official, such as marriage may be performed by a religious body and recognized by the state, or it may be entirely secular. Okay? I hope that all makes sense to you. I gotta go fix my star real quick. There we go. I hope it all makes sense to you. I hope you all don't get confused. I hope that nothing crazy arises out of this. I would hate to see a bunch of soldiers, Christian soldiers, getting up to go fight the wrong war. Okay? Our enemy is not flesh and blood. It's spirits and principalities. Ephesians 6:12. I've done this before. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that or not. Let's see if I can find it real quick like. I wrote it in the back of my Bible. Let me see. Didn't I write it back here? Ephesians 6:12. Having the understanding darkened between alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. Ephesians 4:18. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against evil principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against the spiritual wickedness in high places. That's Ephesians 6:12. Okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom to all my brothers and sisters, my mishpacha out there. I hope that your night and your day is wonderful. Good night.